Hey everyone. I'm on here probably about 2 minutes early prior to the time that I stated that I would go live regarding a few things. And needless to say that I'm not happy. So I will try to make this as quick and as short as possible. Um, as you saw in the headline, this is to address yet again the what I woke up to, which was around 30 notifications regarding the Warren House and other topics of the paranormal, and to get some things off my chest. Um, First of all, I stated prior to this, please don't send me 50,000 notifications about what you think I'd be interested in as far as the paranormal stuff that goes on. Um, let's just what the internet are you on? Give me just a moment. I have someone who's trying to get on real quick. Let me go to my page so that I can share this for someone who's interested in getting on real quick. Um, just so that they're aware of where to go for this. So I'm going to copy that and send it to this person real quick so that they are aware of how to get on, and so that they can just click on it and be on my page. Anyhow, um, like I said, the first time when, of course, the tour to the Annabelle doll had come out, I received 57 notifications, like 57 notifications. Um, People would disregard that it was like 12 o'clock at midnight, it was 3 o'clock in the morning, it was 5 o'clock in the morning. Bing, 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 my phone was going off. Um, you, if it has to do with the paranormal, I probably already know what is transpiring at this point. And you don't have to send me 57 notifications of what's going on. I mean, one is sufficient. It's getting to where it's becoming overbearing. Um, so, with that being said, going back to what transpired over this weekend, I think it was maybe Thursday it happened. I'm not exactly sure. But I woke up over the weekend to 30 notifications about the Warren house and what had transpired with the Warren house. Um, Everybody that knows me or who has watched our podcast or listened to our podcast or who has had me with an investigative team come into your home, a paranormal investigative team, you know what I do. And you know that I have um, put 30 years of my life into this, into the world of the paranormal. And it's not that I'm getting tired of it. I'm not getting tired of things that I was meant to do. And, I really found a home with him and with others that, you know, that know me or who I've worked for, um, which have been numerous paranormal investigative teams. So I did. I woke up to 30 notifications. All of them were, "Did you see this? Did you see this? Did you see this? Did you see this?" You know what? I haven't even woken up yet, and people are, "Did you see this? Did you see this? Did you see this?" I I did see that the Warren House and the museum got sold. Um, to be very frank, succinct, and honest, I I I don't know who I didn't know who Matt Rife was or his other partner that bought the house until I looked him up because I don't have cable. There is a reason that I don't have cable, and there is a reason why a lot of empathic people, strong empaths, do not have cable TV. We don't watch the news because it is extremely painful to watch. Um, and we take on the emotions of every word, every picture, every situation that has happened or that is happening when we watch the news, and it can become overbearing. Um, this is my channel, and this is my opinion. Uh, it's not only my channel, it's a channel for our podcast that we do. The Corner Cauldron that I do, and the Witches Winging It with Jen. And I want to add them on to this because I'm pretty sure that they would probably feel the same way. Hey, Dave, thanks for popping on here and finding me. Um, you know, again, I had to find out who Matt Rife was and his partner, and I found out that he's a comedian. Great, fine. This is just my opinion on this page, and it is not the general public's consensus. This is my take on situations. Um, First and foremost, I don't care if this takes 4 minutes or 4 hours to get out. I'm going to get it out because I am frustrated. I am tired and frankly disgusted with things that have transpired. It's bad enough that the Annabelle doll was taken out of her home, which is the Warrens Museum in Connecticut, and toted around this country like an animal at the zoo, um, which it shouldn't have been. Lorraine and Ed made very sure that nothing was to ever leave that museum, that nothing was to be touched when visitors were at the museum. Nothing was to be moved and nothing was to be taken out. Most of all, Annabelle, um, because of what they did. All of those things in that museum have either an attachment of some kind, mostly negative. And the reason that they brought them back to that museum was so that they could be locked up and never hurt anyone again. That's number one. Number two, I, you know, quick with this, as I did with the Annabelle doll. Again, my condolences go out to paranormal investigator who lost his life in Gettysburg during the tour. To his family, I am so sorry. And, it shouldn't have happened. And that's just how I feel. I am very sorry for your loss. I know that he died doing what he loved, which was, the world of the paranormal. And I'm just very saddened by the situation. Out of all of this, the sale of the Warren house and the museum, I became enraged about. That property should have never been sold. Again, I don't know the financial situation of whoever owned the house prior, whether it was their daughter Judy and their son-in-law Tony, or whether it was some other person that owned that property. But Ed and Lorraine's last wishes were that nothing was to be taken out of that museum ever. They spent a lifetime and being trailblazers for us who are in the paranormal field. We look up to them, doing what they did. And they believed in investigators. They wanted to teach investigators about the bad side of the paranormal and things that happen. And you may not believe in it, but I have in my 30 years, and David, you've been part of the paranormal field for a very long time too, so I'm sure that you will agree. We have all seen things. We have all been witness to things. Serious investigators that astonish and scare us all with things that can't be seen. And it's just like that movie Twister. You haven't seen it, hit this house and hit this house and then not hit this house. You've seen things that you do not want to be witness to. I'm sure that a great majority of us have already always, I don't want to say always, I'm tripping up on my words. I'm just so angry right now. We have all seen things or been touched, whispered to, scratched, punched, tripped, shoved, been told to get out of places that we have investigated enough to make people run in fear. I found you. Should have found me. I've had crazy things happen. You helped with one, and yeah, I did, and I'm glad to have helped. Again, with this, I don't care if one person sees it. I don't care if 30 people or 3,000 people see this. That's not my point. My point is that there have been multiple stories that have broken about the sale of the Warren house to Matt Rife. I don't know how true any of these are. I haven't done the research. One says he's going to turn it into a bed and breakfast. One says that he's going to open it for sleepovers and for tours and whatnot. This is for 5. This also gives him legal license to the Annabelle doll for 5 years. I'm sorry. You may appreciate the world of the paranormal and have never been provocational with the paranormal. But what you are about to do is you're going to fuck around and you're going to find out real quick a lot of things that you didn't know about that paranormal world. You do not have the experience, at least of all the experience, to deal with that many demonic attached items. You're thinking about turning it into a bed and breakfast? I don't know. If you are, you want to do sleepovers? Are you out of your mind? How can you ensure the safety of these people? You have no experience dealing with the demonic. None. Absolutely none. And good luck trying to get the city to give you the permits to get it rezoned as a commercial property. Because I bet not a lot of people know, but I did the research. And the Warrens had to have the museum shut down in 2019 because the city came to them and told them that it wasn't zoned for commercial use. I know a lot of the neighbors allowed them to have their little museum, and show it off and sell tickets or do whatever they wanted to do. That was okay when you had 5 people a week come in, when you had 10 people a week come in. And that was fine and dandy. And they let you go for years until the Conjuring series dropped. When the Conjuring series dropped, that 5 to 10 people, 15 people a week turned into thousands. A lot more, if not thousands. I'm just saying, turned into an exponential amount of people trying to find the Warren house. They converged on Monroe, Connecticut, and found the Warren house, the Warren Museum, and it was mass bedlam. They were parking on people's lawns. They were parking in front of people's driveways. They were parking in people's driveways. They were blocking the access roads to be able to get into the neighborhood in case EMS needed to be called or emergency services needed to be called, with lines and lines and lines of cars trying to come in to see the Warren Museum. There were photos being taken of neighbors. They were snapping photos of everything and everybody. Neighbors that just did not want their photographs taken, that just wanted to live in the neighborhood, who had houses in the neighborhood, who tried to get through their daily activities, and they couldn't do that with photos being snapped and news crews and just the immense amount of people. It got so bad that the neighbors contacted the city, and the city came out and shut down Ed and Lorraine's museum in 2019 due to zoning laws, that it was not zoned for commercial use. It was zoned for residential only. You can't have, streets cut off to emergency access if something should happen, because they can't get there because there are people waiting in line to get into a museum, parking on people's lawns, disrupting a peaceful neighborhood, because they want to get a glimpse. I mean, that's great that they want to get a glimpse. Nothing against the Warrens. They are 2 amazing people that got me into the paranormal, that I looked up to, that I wanted to be like, in a roundabout kind of way, in my late teens, my early 20s, with the gifts that I had. But unfortunately, I guess they didn't bank on all those people. After the Conjuring series dropped, that there would have that many people. You can't do that in a neighborhood. You can't disrupt things like that. Um, the Warrens could have definitely kept that museum open, pardon me, if they had gone to the city and had the neighborhood or their property rezoned. And with that being said, they would have had to, you know, go before a hearing and have all the neighbors say that it was okay to have it rezoned. And you would have had to have it rezoned at neighbors' expense. Can't do that. You can't do that. Good luck to Matt and his partner. I don't even remember his name. That's how unmemorable that person is. Trying to get the neighbors to agree to have it rezoned into a commercial property, because that's what you're going to have to do in order for you to open up either a bed and breakfast or the museum again for stayovers. Good luck and God be with you when something happens. You, my friend, will not be able to handle that at all. You are definitely going to fuck around and find out. And God help you if someone touches one of those pieces and something happens. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to call one of us. And, you know, you don't know me. You don't know me from Adam. You definitely aren't going to call my number to help you. And even if you did have my number, sorry about your luck. I will not be involved in debauchery that's going on. The reason that the Warrens built that museum was to keep all of society safe from all of those items. Everywhere you went, I watched newsreels upon newsreels of the inside of that museum. I watched so many interviews with Lorraine, and everywhere in that museum, there were signs. Do not touch, do not move, do not take anything out of here, especially the Annabelle doll. Do not let her out. Do not touch the glass. Do not touch anything. That was to keep people safe. And one of them was always in the museum during a tour. That way they could be watched, making sure that things didn't happen. Lorraine wouldn't even look at Annabelle. She said herself she wouldn't look at it. She wouldn't look at it. She wouldn't talk to it. She wouldn't touch it. They went as far as having a priest come in several times a month and bless everything, including the Annabelle doll. You are out of your mind. You are out of your league. You are out of your league, sir. I don't know, how much experience you have dealing with the paranormal, let alone dealing with the demonic. You have never been touched thus far that I know of something demonic. And God help you if something happens. You get your wish and something happens. I can only imagine the amount of fuckery that's going to happen. This world isn't bad enough that you've got to do shit like that. I don't know if it was for a publicity stunt. I don't know if it was just for mere curiosity. I mean, I had someone say to me, I guess he just had a lapse in judgment, LOL. That's not a lapse in judgment. That's a lapse of insanity. Your sanity up here. That's a lapse in sanity. It really is. Ed and Lorraine spent their lifetime protecting the innocent. and saving lives from all that is unseen. They experienced only things that are of nightmares and dreams. You can say what you want about Ed and Lorraine. Maybe you don't believe in Ed and Lorraine. Maybe you thought they were shysters. Fine. This is my page and my goddamn opinion. And I can have it. And I know of at least 50 others that would agree with me. I just, Ed and Lorraine are flipping in their graves. I just can't. The Warren's grandson is extremely upset that it was sold, going against his grandparents' wishes. Absolutely. Absolutely. At least one of the Warren family members that's still alive is not happy with the situation. It goes against everything Ed and Lorraine taught us, everything Ed and Lorraine wanted. They were saving us from demonic possessions, from things that go bump in the night. I have had my share of demonic things happen. And if you don't believe in it, that's fine. Then you get off my page and don't come back. I don't need you. I don't need your kind here. I really don't. Like I said in the very beginning, I don't care if this video is seen by 3 people or 3,000 people. I can't believe that after everything that went on with the Annabella doll, the sale of that house went through. I just, and to someone who I don't even know has any experience with the paranormal. I mean, the only thing that makes me chuckle is the fact that Chuck Wagons is probably very upset that he wasn't asked to purchase the house. And I am grateful for that. He already has enough problems going on. He doesn't need any more of that. And neither do any of us. You know, it boggles my mind. Shit's gonna hit the fan. Mark my words. This is just the beginning. And again, with my predictions, people just don't listen. You know, I've told you multiple times, multiple times. You know, don't bother me with the 57 or 30 instant messages, texts, same damn thing. And then on top of it, want to insult me by showing me another video of someone else saying the same damn thing I said 3 days prior. What, my word isn't good enough? That you have to send me a video of someone saying, oh, the same thing, exactly the same thing I said? No, she's right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You don't need to be a rocket scientist. You don't need to be a medium. You don't need to be an empath. You don't need to be a paranormal investigator. Annabelle herself was a testament. And again, I told you months ago that she was going to kill somebody. People weren't going to be satisfied until something happened. And look what happened. Not even a stop of the tour. Because you had a fallen brother in the paranormal field who died mysteriously. Not even a blink of an eye. Shows how you value life. and how much you think that the paranormal field is a joke. You know, I that just it just has become cheese grater irritating that people don't listen, they don't understand, or they don't want to listen. Maybe the paranormal field is not for you. That's great. Dandy. Fine. You know, the history of a haunting. Hi, Carrie. How are you, honey? Hi, Carrie. So to Matt and your partner, good luck trying to get it zoned. Because you won't get it zoned. None of the neighborhood has anything to say about that. They let Ed and Lorraine go for years until 2019 when the Conjuring series dropped. And then it wasn't 5, 10, 15 people coming to visit a museum. It was exponentially higher. It was hundreds of people, so much so that people were parking on lawns of neighbors. They were parking in front of driveways. They were parking in driveways. They were taking pictures of anybody and neighbors that didn't want their pictures taken, that didn't want any. They were blocking access roads. You know, and to Ed and Lorraine for that, you know, you learned a lesson. And you know, the neighbors went up calling the city and having the city involved and having you shut down in 2019 because you weren't zoned for commercial traffic. What if something happened in that museum or in your home and EMS got called or police got called and they couldn't get to your house because the road was blocked by people taking pictures? You know, noise levels, all that other stuff. You need to be zoned. And you know, you're going to have be in the good graces of the neighbors that are still there to be able to have them agree to have it rezoned, and the whole neighborhood has to be rezoned. And I'm pretty sure that they're not going to allow that to happen. I just don't understand how the sale of that could have gone to someone who has the least amount of paranormal experience, alone, dealing with the demonic. I didn't start out dealing with the demonic until I got to my first group, which is my home group, which I am grateful for. Spirit of the Sword Paranormal, Yvonne, Jeff, Jim, Lucy, Bailey. We didn't start out as a demonic resolutions team. It just became that way, that more and more of the cases that we did were demonic. And that's because we had an exorcist on our team. We had a demonologist on our team. And we were experienced. And I myself wound up possessed at least 3 times. All 3 of them I remember very little of. The last one was terrible. It took me 10 days to recover from that. And I got yelled at for it because what turned into a house exorcism turned into a human exorcism, mine. Only because the demon was going to go after a 5-year-old little girl. And I stepped in front of it. And I said if it wanted to pick on somebody, it could pick on somebody its own size. And it did. Would I do it again? Absolutely, for a 5-year-old girl. What I went through affects me today on who I am. It's not bad enough that I can see it, I can hear it, I can feel it. But once you've been possessed, you're marked for the rest of your life. And it can happen again. But would I do it again to save a 5-year-old girl? Absolutely. Without a doubt. I'm happy to report that that 5-year-old little girl is now a happy and healthy 15-year-old little girl, young lady, teenager, who still has my phone number. Her grandmother has my phone number, and she knows that she can call me anytime if she feels like she's in danger again, or is afraid of the things that go bump in the night. I don't care. 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, I don't care. She can call me. And we'll talk it out together. You know. And I'm sure if Jim was here, he'd be able to tell a little bit more about the story, because I woke up to him telling me not to leave him. That's the last thing I remember was, sis, don't leave me. Does she check in with you now and then? Yes, she does. Her grandmother, who I am friends with on Facebook, checks in with me every now and again. When her granddaughter has issues, she calls me and tells me, or we have to have a conversation on the phone, or we chat through text, and she is happy and she is healthy, and she has not had any problems since, which is a great thing, an amazing thing. Don't get me wrong, I wouldn't change my life for the world. When I came into my first paranormal group, it was by happens. Wonderful, thank you. Thank you. It was by happenstance that I found Spirit of the Sword Paranormal. In fact, I was working at a local pharmacy where some members of the group shopped, and the people that I worked with knew what I did. They knew that I was a medium. They knew that I was an empath. And I guess they knew for some reason that the two people walked in the store one day and they were just talking about the paranormal. I was like, oh yeah, that's great. That's amazing. Mind you, still at this time, I still had no idea what Spirit had planned for me, why I was given gifts, what purpose they served. And then one of my coworkers butted into the conversation and said, "Did you know she's a medium?" Which kind of I was upset about, because I didn't want anybody to know. I wanted to be considered normal, even though I was not normal. And one of them happened to say, "Oh, well, look, we're actually looking for a medium to fill a spot in our group." And they gave me their card and said, "Give us a call sometime." And the one member of the team noticed that I had a Tinkerbell tattoo, and that's from my grandmother who passed away. That's an homage to my grandmother, very much like Tinkerbell. Tinkerbell was her favorite character from Peter Pan, and I got that when she passed away. And to have her tell the story, she actually, right out of running out of the pharmacy that I worked for, ran into someone who had a Tinkerbell tattoo, and then she ran into someone else who had a Tinkerbell lunchbox. And she knew from that moment that I would call. Onto that card for probably about 5 days. Nervous as hell. I mean, what am I doing? What are you doing? What are you really doing with this? What is going on? You're crazy for doing this. And I must have picked up that phone at least 500 times. And the last time I was getting ready to hang up, and they actually answered. I know that feeling. I know you know that feeling. They picked up and was immediately brought into a family, not just a team, a family. We went on our first case where I met Jim, who I call my brother from another mother. We are now affectionately called Wonder Twins, although we're not twins, because we just do Jedi mind tricks to each other. And without saying a word, he knows what my move is. I just have to give him a look, and right away he knows exactly what's up and what's good, which is great. And that was 11 years ago. And I have been so grateful to have been brought into a family that, we see each other outside of our cases. We're invited to weddings and birthday parties and showers, and go out to lunches together and just hang out and talk about everything and anything. And I've never in my life met a more protective group of people. Bro is the big brother that I never had. And sometimes overly protective. If you're watching this, Jim, overly protective sometimes. But I love the way. Lucy too. Lucy's like the sister I never had, his beautiful wife, who was just as much a part of our group, even though she doesn't go out on investigations with us. She's one of our prayer warriors. She does the most important work, which is praying, saying prayers and blessings nonstop while we're on a case until we get home, which is amazing. With that, I actually was afforded to meet other great investigators that I finally found home where I belong. This is what Spirit created me for. This is what the universe created me for. God, great creator, Yahweh, whatever you want to call it, him, her, it, they, whatever it is. This was my purpose in life. My favorite thing to do was not only be an occult specialist for their team. I've been an occult specialist for over 20 years. I've known about my gifts for almost 50 years. Was to be able to work with kids that are gifted. My job was to help them learn to contain their gifts and use it in a safe, respectful way when they needed it. And how to work through being a kid and not being considered weird or abnormal. If I could reach one child and just say, me too. You're not weird. Because that makes both of us weird. Because I can see him too. Or I can hear him too. You know what I do to get them to go away? Or to find my safe space and teach them and be able to work with them and watch them blossom and give mom and dad some direction on how to make them feel less weird, and grow with their abilities. It's great. And I remember every single one of them. I'm still in touch with every single one of them. We have multiples of, cases that we've done where out of 90% of them, out of 100% of them, 90% of them still send us Christmas cards. They'll still check in once a year and say, hey, things are so great. Hey, I have a question. I've got something that's bugging me. I need to know what's going on. Can you help me? Sure, absolutely. Which brings me to my second part of the night, which is the not so nice part of the night. I've had some things transpire in the past couple of days that I think have broken the camel's back. They have verged from excitement to exploitation. And I'm going to say this again. And I'm actually thinking really hard about losing all of my social media and just keeping it for the podcasts and our lives. Because, with some of these people who have called friend, who needs enemies? I am going to make this very clear. And to the two of you that are on right now that have been in my chat, Carrie and Dave, please know that this is not meant towards you, but towards some people that need some comeuppance that took my kindness as a weakness. I will let you know that I'm not your toy. I'm not your trinket that you can show off to your friends. I spent a lifetime trying to be normal or be accepted in a world that was very unaccepting of someone who was different. I'm a physical medium. It's a little different than being a regular medium. Physical mediums can feel how a person died. They relive that person's death when the spirit is in front of us and gets too close. It becomes extremely painful. I know if someone's had an aneurysm, a heart attack, burning, drowning. For example, if someone's been burned, I immediately feel like my body is burning in flames. I scream. It becomes very painful. I shake. Gunshot victims, I know exactly where they got shot because I am them. At the minute they get shot, I feel it go through my body. I can feel the taste the blood. I can feel it dripping, and I can smell the sulfur from the gun. That's not bad enough trying to be normal. I've had, throughout the years, become very sheltered because I'm afraid that people won't accept me for who I am. And that's terrible. Spent a lifetime of being called ghost girl, weird, dead girl, ghost whisperer, crazy, nuts. Yeah, doesn't make for a great childhood. You're very lonely. Lonely for adults or just on this plane of existence, friends and not that it doesn't get very crowded a lot of the time. Through the years, you have to deal with it, with some people, I thought I could loosen my guard a little bit, kind of make friends. And do things exciting that normal people do. And I was the fool. I was the one that dropped my guard and, allowed them to, what do I want to exploit, basically. And then it became do parlor tricks for my friends. Look what my friend can do. Look what she can do. I have other interests than the paranormal. I'm artsy. I love art. Many people don't know I went to culinary school. Yeah. I graduated with an associate's degree in culinary arts. Hey, Rachel. Thanks, hon. Thank you for the hugs. I love cats. I love animals, period. I love to draw. I love to sing when nobody's listening. I sound like a cat drowning, according to some people. I was a wife at one time. I'm a spiritual person. There are other things. But what I won't let you do is exploit me anymore. You got problems at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I have a question. That's disrespectful. Don't offer my assistance to people without first asking. There was a time last week where I would have ran to somebody. You got a problem, I can help you. I think I've learned my lesson. There are going to be a lot of people that are going to be upset at that. Don't call me. Those who can call me, you know who you are. Right here in the chat. Carrie, you can call me anytime, day or night, honey. I'll answer that phone. Rachel, I'll answer that phone. David, I'll answer that phone for you. I'll answer that phone for my kids, too. People keep saying, "What?" That's another thing. Why don't you shut off your phone? I my phone. I have 2 children who have medical issues. God's forbid that I turn off my phone and it's a night when they need me, that something's happened. I would never forgive myself. So that's the reason my phone stays on all the time. Same, girl, same. There are certain people in this world that you can count on, your ride or your dies. And Carrie, you've heard me talk about this before, about nothing being coincidence, all about synchronicities. There was a reason that Spirit told you to go to that Saks Cover Bridge that day. And I loved you for every minute of it after. I just wish maybe you lived closer or I lived closer, one or the other. Rachel, there was another reason why you met me at the Tree of Life shop. David, there was a reason that you met me that night on that investigation. Or, we need it. I'm so in love with that place. I know you are. And I'm the same way. I got your back, lady. Anything I can help you with. Dave, I've been on, we wound up doing a case for Dave, and then Dave invited me to a case, and funny thing, if I can kind of like calm things down for a little bit, Dave, was that case that we did where I told him, he offered me to go on a case with him, and I said, listen, bring batteries. And he said, okay, I got extra batteries. No, I said, bring batteries, cases of batteries. Because I have been known to drain batteries, especially when Spirit is around me. My energy is very high and I will drain batteries. And he said, no, I got you covered. We get in there. And I think it was like 10 minutes into the investigation, camera batteries died. And then he put the backups in and the backups went dead. And I said, I thought I told you to bring batteries. He said, I did bring batteries, damn it. There are other people, that I would definitely do anything for. I've met so many great people. This career of mine, or this whatever, has afforded me to meet other people, and one of them is no longer here. That man was like a father to me, and it was James Maitland. You have a few more now. James Maitland, who was the director of First Responders Paranormal. He died due to COVID, and it was early on into COVID. He passed away. I, love him to death and would have done anything for him. He was, again, the dad I never had. Have I seen him since he has passed? Absolutely. Every once in a great while, he'll come sit on the edge of my bed and wake my ass up at 3:00 in the morning like I told him not to, but he does anyway, with his back turned towards me, and he'll take his military hat off, vet's hat off, scratch his bald head and go, well, shit. This isn't how it was supposed to turn out. This isn't what it was supposed to be. And I laugh. I can feel his presence around me when I do a case. He was another one. Oh my God, he was so protective. I remember him laughing at the last couple of cases that we did together, and I didn't know, because I was channeling, that I moved around a lot until I saw the video, and I telling me, God damn it, stop moving around. I can't, I'm old. I can't, you keep going out of the frame of the damn camera. God dang it. And he would laugh. A lot of his conversations were, he would call me on a case that he was having issues with and want some insight. And instead of hi, it was help. And then a laugh. And I'm like, oh, good Lord, what have you gotten yourself into now, sir? And he'd let me know. Steve Edwards is another one. I would do anything for him. Another brother. I've been blessed to meet a lot of wonderful people and some not so wonderful people. Just keep reminded that for those of you who are, that'd be me. That's okay. You can call me and scream help anytime you want. Unfortunately, it's going to take me a little longer than 30 minutes to get to you to help you out. But what I am not is your toy. We're not trinkets. We're not circus bears. I don't know if you know how physically demanding and how exhausting it is to be constantly on all the time. I guess I have to be a little more judicious and a little more guarded. For those people who got a little bit of me before I noted what they were doing was not to be friends, but to, be clicky. Oh, look, I have a friend who's in the paranormal. Look what she can do. Oh. Just turn it on. Do that thing that you do. I just can't turn it on and turn it off. It's not like some light switch. Always wanting to just push me to do shit all the time. That's not what I'm here for. And that's where excitement, yeah, only if we could. Rachel, you know it. Carrie, you know it too. You just can't turn it off and turn it on. You know? I'm sorry I come with an entourage of spirit. I can't then get them to go away. They just show up. Um, Shame on you, those people. You will never get a piece of me again. I'm just so more angry that I let myself be exploited, where excitement then turns into exploitation. Um, it's a terrible thing. And I'm more disappointed in myself that I didn't say it. And then again, I'll get the people who say, "Well, you're a medium. You're a psychic. Didn't that show you anything? You should that. You're supposed to be so good with your gifts." I always say that there's a difference between a medium and a psychic, and that's just me. Some people use them interchangeably and are fine with it. I'm not. A medium can tell you where you have been. A psychic can tell you where you're going. Like, the future. My forte is spirit. And my business is to be the voice of those who don't have one. And you're right. You're right, Carrie. Their big karma will come to roost. You are absolutely 100% right. And I'm just going to let it go how Tim says that his grandmother used to say, rotten fruit don't need any help falling off the tree. It falls off all by itself. That's what I'm going to let it do. They will reap the karma that they have sown. More standoffish than I normally am. It's with good reason. It really is with good reason. Trust is a big thing with me. And when you abuse that, it's you will never get it again. You won't get a second chance. And to that answer, don't you know you're a psychic and you see it coming? It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Spirit allows me to see what it chooses me to see. And a lot of the times that it becomes clouded or I didn't know was because Spirit wanted to teach me a lesson. A lesson would not have been learned had I already known about it. And sometimes those lessons are meant to hurt. Say that. We don't control what Spirit sends us. You're right. We don't control what Spirit sends us. They don't. I try to curtail it as much as possible. Being an empath doesn't help. At the top of this, I said that's why I don't have cable. I don't watch the news because with empathic people, the news becomes too painful. It's bad enough when you're trying to navigate a world that's unaccepting of you, but to add on top of it, feeling pain from people thousands of miles away and wearing it like a cloak or being overly emotional. That's another thing. Because you're overly emotional. I'm an empath, asshole. Yeah, I'm an empath. I know your whole life story before you even open your fucking mouth. I wear every emotion and every trauma cloak. I swim in your trauma. before you even said hello. So don't tell me I don't know you. I know you sometimes more than you know yourself, even without me wanting to know about you. This will not stop me from doing what I do. I am a paranormal investigator. That's why I think Spirit made me the way I am, gave me my gifts, so I can be the voice for those who don't have one. I can weed through the bullshit and come to a hurting spirit with arms wide open and give them comfort and ask them to tell their truth so that they can rest. Spirit finds me to tell their story. And it's a blessing and a curse at the same time. Gary, you know that. Rachel, you'll know that. That it's a blessing and a curse at the same time. That we get the truth out. That's what my job is. To comfort spirit that's scared. And to belong to a resolutions team. Our teams that I belong to are resolutions teams. We just don't go there and there you go. See ya. And thanks for the airplane ticket, the hotel room, the food, the lodging. Thanks for letting us into your house. That doesn't do anything. That just leaves a family with all the evidence that they've already known that they had, with a ghost or spirits that are 10 times more pissed off than they were when you started. Now, how's a family supposed to live like that? With a more pissed off ghost that's going on a tantrum and a tirade, even more now than they were before you even showed up. That's why I like working for teams that don't charge. None of the teams I've ever worked on have ever charged anybody a dime. We go in, we speak to spirit, we find out what the situation is. We do go in with recorders and video cameras. That's it. EMF detectors. We don't have the big camera crews that come in with the boom mics, this mic, that mic, this static camera, 100 feet of Ethernet cord, extension cords, this, that, the third, computers, a big old van, a truck, a trailer behind that with equipment. And what we do is we get rid of it for good. That's another one of my jobs when I worked with Spirit of the Sword Paranormal. I took spirit to the other side, to its resting place. And that has been another big gift, that I can see what the other side looks like. I can't stay there because it's not my time yet. But if I can take a spirit by the hand and show it grace and comfort, and that it's going to be okay, work out a resolution for it, and have it leave a family alone, that's the best part. When we check in with them a couple days later, or they text us and say, you know what, my family's been able to sleep through the entire night for the first time in months. We felt nothing. We heard nothing other than people snoring. My kids are not afraid to sleep in their own beds. They're not tired. They're not up all hours of the night. We can live in our house that we paid for, our dream home, without fear of something yanking on my kids' ankles at the middle of the night, ripping them out of the bed, or getting scratched, or hearing voices or seeing things. That's the best gift. That's the best payment. If they wanted to give us a charitable donation, that's great. We accept it. We'll use that towards gas, equipment, goes back to the LLC. We really don't see any of it, but we're very thankful and we accept it graciously. You don't have to give us a dime. We get the payment when we see you months later or check in on you months later and things are still calm. The dogs aren't afraid. The cats aren't afraid. The animals aren't afraid of being touched. They're not seeing creepy things. They're allowed to sleep through the night. They're getting good grades. They're allowed to be kids. And you can sleep in your own home in peace and quiet. That's the best payment ever. And I'm going to continue to do that because it's a calling. It really, really is. I'm still going to do my tarot readings at Tree of Life Shop because I get to meet some amazing people every day. It's something different. I get to be at my second favorite home, which is Tree of Life Shop with Rachel and Mr. and Mrs. Tree, Sherry and Bill, and all the kitties, and get to meet amazing people and get to help them work through their trauma. And get to do what I do best. I'll never give that up. That's where I feel like I am at home. Get a second home away from home. You know that, Carrie. And I do agree with you, like you said on Thursday night. Drips and drabs of Gettysburg. 3 days is enough. That it's so concentrated that like us, it just, there's no respite. There's no calm. Besides, I love being there. And I love having Tilly tag along. And I look forward to every time I hit 15, the first voice I hear in the car is, "Welcome home." And it's Tilly telling me to put my purple dress on and go to the cemetery because she wants to talk. A place amazes me every day, and I've met so many wonderful people there. And I was upset that I didn't get to, go to the Battlefield Bash this year, but I'll be there next year with bells on to see you, Carrie, and all of your entourage and all of the friends, and hopefully you'll introduce me to a lot of your friends. That would be great. If we could sit and just chat. I love it there. And I'm so fond of Tilly. Yeah. Tilly is Tilly and Jenny. Jenny's a bit of a handful. Especially when the two of them start arguing over top of me. And I'm like, you know what? I'm here. You're arguing over me. I can hear the two of you. I can see the two of you. And I'm still here. So you don't have to argue over me. I can hear you. There's enough of me to go around, like I said at the beginning of this, and it's been an hour and 15 minutes. I don't care if 3 people see this or 3,000 people see this. This has been a little bit of a warning in the very beginning. about the Warren house. I'm so goddamn upset it got sold. Very little to no experience with the hell that's about to be unleashed. It was a reason that Ed and Lorraine didn't want anything going out of that museum. It was to protect people. And to the new owners, God help you if you get that thing off the ground and something happens. No amount of police, first responders, or help that you could possibly call for is going to be able to help it. I'm just saying, be very careful where you tread. I can only imagine Ed and Lorraine flipping in their graves right now. That everything that they worked for is going to be all for naught and gone against their wishes. It wasn't bad enough that Annabelle wreaked havoc when she got out and went on tour, but you have to add insult to injury. To the new owners, I hope you know what you're doing. And take our advice. To the people who have been in this field and have seen some shit that would make any normal person, their soul, evacuate their body. Hope you're prepared. That's all I have to say. And to the people who decided that they were just going to exploit me, I'll let fate and karma herself take care of you. You're not worth my time, my herbs, or my energy. Don't call me because I won't answer. I'm not going to be involved in any of your shenanigans. You know, it's a shame it has to be this way. So, anywho. Yep, Karma Bus will definitely sort those fools out, Gary. You know, and not worth my time, not worth my herbs or my energy at this point, not worth my spells. I'll let Karma sort them out. I'm sure that she has a worse tongue lashing than I could possibly ever give. You know, I will never make that mistake again. And it's funny how the people that this is directed at aren't even here. I kind of find it convenient. You know, and they themselves will eventually get into trouble. And the first person they're going to call is me, because I know what a great majority of them are planning to do. And I won't be there to answer the phone. Sorry, not sorry. I've learned my lesson. And I'm not going to act like the circus bear anymore. I'm saving up my energy who really matter. The ones that have stuck by me through thick and thin. The ones who never let me down, and they reciprocate in every way, shape, and form. To the ones that have always been there for me when I need it. You know, it is what it is at this point. And I'm over my little rant that I'll spend in an hour and 20 minutes. So maybe next year, Carrie, we can talk. You can talk Aaron into showing up at the Gettysburg Bash. Maybe. You think she'd come down? I mean, you know, just for a day, 2 days, maybe. We'll have to see how that pans out. But I am so ready for next year's bash. And anytime you want to show up in Gettysburg, you let me know. Before I close, I'm going to let you guys know that I will be. Where am I going to be? I have a lot of dates. 23rd of this month, I will be at Pepperly's Boutique doing tarot card readings. Her shop, here's hoping. I do think she will. She got a new job and couldn't take the time off for this year. Yeah, I know. It's cutting it close this year, but hopefully next year she'll show up. The 23rd of this month at August, I will be at Pepperly's Boutique in Concordville, Pennsylvania, doing tarot card readings. Great little shop called Pepperly's Boutique. Sells all kind of vintage clothes, kitschy stuff, great stuff. They have a crystal reader there. Back on August 30th, I will be back in Ringtown at Tree of Life shop with Sherry and Bill, and I will be doing tarot card readings. If you would like a tarot card reading from me and you're in the area, please call the Tree of Life shop, and shop is spelled SHOPPE. Tree of Life shop. You can find her on Facebook. Call the shop, say you want a reading from me. They will book you a spot. Little does everybody know that I also do readings over this thing. So even if you're a bazillion miles away, as long as you have FaceTime or Zoom, I can still read your cards. So find me on Facebook. It's under Marie Gibbs Russell. You'll see this shining mug on there, and you know you've hit the right person. Just instant message me and add a friend request. Tell me you want a reading, and I will definitely be in contact with you. You can actually go on my work website, which is Conversations Beyond the Veil, spelled VALE. No, I didn't spell it wrong. It's a Scottish word. VALE, veil. It is a space between two planes of existence. That's why I called it VALE. I will not be at the expo this year in Gettysburg in December. I have got a lot of things going on right now, and some personal things need to take place for me. Leslie will have me back in March. Missy, Carrie, I gotta get you. See if you're willing, I could give you an application to the expo, same spot where you've been for the Gettysburg Bash. It is at the Aspire Hotel, Eisenhower Aspire Hotel, same place where the Gettysburg Bash is. It is a weekend. You set up Friday, you're there Saturday, Sunday. Sunday we'll all go home. And you get to hang out with me and a couple of other vendors, and we get to go to Gettysburg Eddie's and have libations and crack up and tease the bartender Sam all the time, who rolls his eyes every time we're up there and goes, "Oh God, you guys again? Yep, it's us again, Sam. Woohoo! There you go." See if I can get you an application. I'll speak to Leslie. Leslie Runkle she is organizer of the whole thing. She owns Etheric Connections, which is another great metaphysical shop. They've just moved. They moved from Beaufort Street to York Street, to a bigger place. And better weather too. July was miserable. Thank you so much. Yeah, July was hot as shit out there. It was Satan's ass crack hot. I was there 4th of July weekend with Mama Dukes. And it was sweltering. Maybe we can get you into one of them little outfits and you can come walk with us, sometime. We can go to Gettysburg Emporium. We can get you all dressed up in your finery and get you an attitude hat and get you walk around town. All that. We all wanted to die. I know. Listen, I was there bike week last year, which was July. It was like 110 and I was out in costumes walking around with people. Wow. I literally thought I was going to die. Yes, I would love to do that. We will do that. Listen, I can get you with Cindy and Vi and the Gettysburg Emporium, get you all gussied up and get you to walk around town with all of us and hang out and have a good time. We will do that, my love. We gotta stay in touch with each other. David, Carrie, thank you so much for fly with me. I really appreciate it. You guys have all of my respect and great love. And if you guys aren't doing anything, you out there who are going to eventually see this on here, Dead Air Full Spectrum, subscribe, like it. Every other Thursday, Carrie does a podcast with Aaron Bush called "Well, That's Weird," and I love the show. I absolutely love the show. Amazeballs, it's a great show to watch. They always have great topics. We all get on the choo-choo trauma trigger train, beep, beep, ready to go for Thursdays. And they pull at the end of the show. And I love the sweary affirmations because I swear like a sailor. So the sweary affirmations are the best. Great show. Watch it, like it, subscribe it, hit the bell, ding, 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 and it will notify you when Carrie and Aaron are on. Dead Air Full Spectrum. Look for it, and I will always post it on my Facebook page. And you know what? Come watch us every Monday night. Tomorrow night, I'm gonna be with my brother from another mother, my WT, my Wonder Twin, Jim Spillin, doing Corner Cauldron. You can catch us on Facebook Live. You can catch us on here. You can catch us on StreamYard. At 7 p.m. tomorrow night, we will be talking about Rachel. We're going to be talking about what's up with them fairy holes. What's up with them fairy holes? And why you should stay away from the fairy holes. And also be talking about this question, makes you scratch your head. Can a ghost actually haunt another ghost? Find out tomorrow night when train comes into the station. I'm going to be Corner Cauldrons and all that good stuff with me and Jim Spellin, my brother from another mother, my WT, and Tim Hopper. Yes, we want fairy holes. Yeah. And what's the difference? Why should we be avoiding fairies? I don't know, but you're going to have to find out. All right, everybody. As I say all the time, closing the show, I am blessed to know each and every one of you. Thank you for listening to my rant. I feel much better now, psychologically, mentally. Physically feel much better. And I got to get ready to go to bed because I got to go to work tomorrow. Ugh. Any hoodles. I'm blessed. And as I always say to end the shows, love, peace, and chicken grease, y'all. Bye.